hello to the gods. Behold, the 8th Thunder God stand before you. It is our duty to destroy the human race. We're divine beings. Feel free to worship us.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. With the advent of Chain Soldier Season 2 being right around the corner, I figured there was no better time than to do a little recap of Season 1. I went through the manga just because I wanted to get through it quickly, so I'm going to be going off the manga, but this is everything that happened in Season 1. This is probably going to be a long video, which is kind of funny because it's damn near like the longest script I've made, and it's on some Gooner shit. So there's that. Real quick, the experience between the manga and the anime. The manga, the art style is a bit more detailed. The line work is a bit thinner, so I actually did really enjoy the manga. It actually really made me want to read the manga, especially because it is more uncensored as well. The manga is very, very good. I would highly recommend it. It's not like the anime is bad though either. It's just for these gooner-ass anime. They don't get the same amount of budget usually. In this first panel here, we have, all the main characters. From left to right, we have Yuki, Kyoka, Nei, Shu, and then Himari. And Chain Soldier, also known as Mato, Seihei, no slave. I like that title a little bit more. I like the slave aspect of it. And that slave aspect of it is highlighted more in the manga. This is the same author as Akame ga Kill. Let's just hop right into it. Grab some popcorn or some lubricant. This is definitely an 18 plus video. You've been warned. This is actually the first panel of the manga. We're in the year 2020, which would be the future from when the chapter was published, because it was published in 2019. The concept of gender equality was no more with the appearance of another dimension called Mato. The Mato dimension produces these peaches which give women power. So we see the female exclusive transport. It's obviously very spacious, very tidy, juxtaposed to the male exclusive transport, which is very cramped. So there's obviously a clear difference here. We learn that men can't receive blessings from the peaches, and I believe the peaches is kind of a parallel to the white peach, I believe, from Japan. It's like this rare fruit. And here we see Yuki stumble into the Mato dimension. He has a little Mato disaster, that's what they're called. He stumbles into the Mato dimension. In this next panel, we start to get the gist of the isekai. We see these shuki, who are basically demons or monsters, and then the peaches, a resource that grants special abilities if eaten. The shuki have so much more in this panel, but they're mostly fodder. The anti-demon corps unit specialized in battle, composed exclusively of women who receive blessings from the peach, is formed to obviously combat this disastrous isekai world we're living in. We get an explanation of what the Mato disasters are. The kunado, or the gates that connects to Mato, are usually fixed to one place, but some of them can appear in unexpected places. Cases where injury is caused due to ordinary citizens getting lost in Mato or shuki coming out into the real world. That hasn't happened yet in Season 1.
Are you sure about that?
Are called Mato disasters. So this Mato dimension apparently existed before, the Mato disasters started happening, which is a little bit of a nuance there. Yuki, the main protagonist, realizes that this is what happened to his sister 5 years ago, Aoba. We don't know her name yet, but he realizes that's what happened, and then he stumbles upon one of these shuki. It does look better in the manga because in the anime it's kind of CGI. Not all of them are. After a little bit, Yuki's kind of running. Kyoka comes in riding another shuki, giving strong Death vibes. We learn about Kyoko's goal to become the leader of the anti-demon corps. The leaders of the actual squads are called chiefs, I believe, and then the leader is the one who obviously leads them all. I think that terminology has kind of changed a little bit here and there, maybe depending on the translation or whatever it is. Kyoko is actually struggling with the shuki a bit that was attacking Yuki, so she has to gaslight him into becoming her slave when he says he'll do anything. People gotta stop saying that, man. So obviously this is an ability that she gained from eating a peach. Her power draws out and makes use of the strength of the living being she enslaves. We're gonna learn about the reward system in a second. Let me just get to it. It's time to submit. Yeah, I mean... Kyoko is obviously, she's not top 1 actually, but she's very high up there. She's number 2. And he licks it, which is how this power is initiated, I believe. And he's going to get a little bit of a reward here because he helped defeat that shuki. We're going to learn a lot about Kyoko's powers throughout this, so I'm not going to say it all at once. I'll just wait for the panels to come up. She gives him a little bit of a kiss.
But wait! There's more!
Just a kiss? Hell no. it's going to be a lot more than that. Nice little shot here. Kyoka actually didn't expect to have to do all of this because when she enslaves Yuki, they just ask for like food or whatever. That's a really top tier panel. I feel like it looks a little bit better in the manga than it does in the anime, but we see a lot in the anime, so do not worry. And after obviously Yuki gets this reward, he's pretty happy about the situation he's found himself in this isekai. Being a man in this world in the year 2020 when the Mato disasters were happening, you're getting cucked basically. It's girls who run the world. So he's pretty happy about feeling useful and from getting rewards. I mean, goddamn. Yuki's excited about this isekai. We meet pretty much the rest of the 7th unit. The only thing here is when they have their Mato exhibition match that's coming later, we learn that there are actually some members that are away, which I'm actually really excited about because we don't learn about any of them throughout the first season of the anime. Left to right, we have Nei, then Shushu, then Himari. We're going to be learning a lot about their character as we go. Yuki realizes he's still getting cuffed basically. He has to be the caretaker of the Anti-Demon Corps 7th unit, but he gets a harem in return. So just a brief breakdown of their character. Nei, little girl, is very sweet to Yuki right away. Shushu is curious and quickly develops a crush on him. She also went to like an all-girl school, so it's like her first time interacting with a guy. Ozma is tough on him, but once she sees his power, she grows to respect him, and she actually later down the line needs him to help defeat her sister, Yachiho. And then Kyoka needs him. She also believes in him. She believes in her power. She believes in him and her as a partner. This is the first time that she's enslaved a human being, and she is just overall kind to him. She helps save him when he gets captured down the line. They all become friends eventually, but some are more romantically involved than others. Some just, you know, because of the reward system, and then others outside of that, like outside of combat, they're still, you know, Kyoka and Shushu, they pretty much develop a crush on Yuki. So that was all chapter 1. On to chapter 2. We learn about some of the mysteries of the world, our mortal world. You make it sound like it's as if this were the other worlds. It feels like a hellish place, does it not? These are the big questions here. What is this place that appeared decades ago? Why do the peaches only give blessings to women? Not a single mystery has been cleared. As far as the first question, what is this place that appeared decades ago? It's an isekai, but in all seriousness, I mean, it's like a damn near barren wasteland. And then why do the peaches only give blessings to women? I'm thinking this might have to do with the 8 thunder gods, but I'm not entirely sure about that. It actually hasn't been stated. They're chilling at the dorms. Nei, she's pretty telepathic. She's clairvoyant. She senses something. So they send out a little commando unit. Right here we get to see Himari's ability. She can transform her body into weapons, but that actually isn't her ability. That's cap.
Stop the cap!
We'll learn about her real ability later, and then Shushu can change how big she is. So she can become really big, or, as we'll soon see, really small. They win, and... They win, and we learn what the latent desires are. The rewards, pretty confident in saying that the level of reward directly corresponds to how much work Yuki had to put in. But these are just some of his latent desires. Kyoka has to follow through on this. She might not like it, but she literally has no choice. Her body moves on its own, is basically what I'm trying to say. So yeah, not going to speak too much on that. Kyoka's backstory. She was the only survivor of the Gasan Osawa incident. This Shuki, one-horned, he came to her town. I was tripping when I said before that we haven't seen Shuki come into the real world. We actually have, just in this backstory here. We haven't seen it in real time, but in this backstory here, one-horned, he's actually a pretty baller. But one-horned just came through and just decimated her town. This is obviously a big motivator for Kyoka because her town got blitzed out of reality. She wants to wipe that Shuki out one-horned. She obviously needs more power, and she wants to be a leader. A little bit of the reason why she wants to become the leader is because there are people who are interested in Shuki and the peaches, but she just wants to wipe them all out, essentially. This is a pretty tough panel, too. The aura coming off Kyoka right here is
Impressive. Very nice.
Season 2, I should have said this in the beginning, is coming out in January, and it looked pretty tough. The promotional material looked pretty tough. There was this incident where Yuki was cleaning up around the dorm, and he just happened to oversee, I believe it was like Himari and maybe Nei on the spa. Obviously there's got to be a spot. Shushu shrunk down and got hella dirt on him, compromised him. And that's how she basically made him her slave. Chapter 3, Shushu blackmails the shit out of Yuki. Shushu was telling Yuki about her backstory, and Yuki's getting pretty pissed because he's getting blackmailed, but he gets to give her, you know, massages and shit like that. This is her ability. She uses paradigm shift. Obviously, this is some gooner ass ability. As some gooner ass shit is happening, their base actually gets attacked, their dorm gets attacked, and Shushu has to put in work. Yuki sees Shushu kind of getting worked, so he's running all around the dorm. He sees Kyoka's outfit, and he he obviously, as you can see here, licks the boot. He gets this like half transformation kind of thing. Is pretty cool. Yuki helps her out, and then Shusho is raised up from there on in. One thing I really like in the manga here is that you see in the bottom left corner, Yuki Wakura, number of masters currently 2. They don't really have that shit in the anime, that little title box there, but that's really funny. I love that. Shusho, I'm not letting you go, Yuki. Love Shusho. She gets worked all the time though. Trash combatant. Now we learn about One Horn. He has aura, fam, especially in the manga. She has a better backstory, and then, you know, I'm not going to mention every single detail. They're blitzing back to the Mato dimension, and she's riding him. So, I mean, this is going to result in a reward here. You just see this little girl, like, tweaking out because there's demons, you know, casually as fuck, just, like, running next to her car. We see some latent desires here. Really just gooner shit, so we're not going to speak too much about that. Pretty sure this is the reason why they actually came back so abruptly. It's because Nei sensed a Shuki nest, which I'm imagining is just like a cluster of Shukis. It's a nest of them, but this is actually not what it appears to be. This is actually Cap. And now we see someone with some aura here. This is such a tough panel, fam. Aoba is one of my favorite characters. She senses that Yuki is in this dimension, probably one of her peach abilities. I thought peaches were like devil fruits, you could only eat one of them, but she is just scarfing peaches down, fam. She's lit. She's super lit, and she has a plethora of abilities to accompany. We see her on top of One Horn, and Aoba has made him her pet. Squad 7, whatever you want to call them, Unit 7, they were doing well fighting the nest until Aoba pulled up pretty much. She has really good aura. In this panel here, we see that she kind of has like a tattoo or a mark, a curse inside of her mouth. This may be an ability she received from eating a peach, not too sure about that. I don't think you naturally just formed the ability to shoot beams out of your mouth, and I kind of made the assumption that she was able to shoot this beam because she had that curse. It may be the case, it may be some unique shit because some other characters have curse marks like this on their tongue, but she can shoot beams out of her mouth. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. She might actually have that curse from eating multiple peaches as well. You know, she's aura farming pretty well here, Aoba. She's the goat. Kyoga here is trying to blitz her, trying to catch her off guard, but Aoba is way too clean. She notices that bullshit. Damn, Aoba looks like she has like 3 peaches right there, which is kind of cracked, but Kyoga is asking Aoba to identify herself, and she says, if I had to call myself something, it'd be she who fights the anti-demon corps. Really good aura. Like, how many peaches has she eaten? She's cracked. Like, damn, she has multiple devil fruits. See, the art is just so much better in the manga. Like, look at this art for the cover page here. It's cracked. Aoba telling Kyoka about her little brother. She doesn't realize that the Shuki in front of her is Yuki yet. She will very soon. But she's just yapping about how Yuki was like attached to her and shit. She was like a pretty archetypal big sister in the way that she like defended Yuki because he was so much younger than her. Yeah, we see a little bit of her abilities. I think she just like demolished that Shuki's head, like blew that shit up like Gaara's sand coffin with her hair. Super cracked. Kaguya like abilities. Aoba's, you know, talking shit, hella high battle IQ, saying, you don't know a thing about Mato, do you? About this curse-filled world. And they're clashing a little bit. Yuki clashing with One Horn this early is like kind of cracked to me. He's damn near done no training at this point, so my scoliosis is like fucking me up. He's damn near done like no training at this point, so the fact that he's clashing with a high level, you know, Shuki, I don't know how high level he is. He's not really as strong as like a chief, I would say. Like, I think Kyoka would win if it was just him without Aoba, but with Aoba it's obviously different, so there's that. When they're clashing, Aoba starts to realize that the Shuki in front of her is Yuki. Right here we get some really, really good art. Like, this level of detail is really not in the anime from what I remember. We got Kyoka crashing out here. And I think she's basically just crashing out here because she realizes that One Horn is the one that decimated her village. And maybe because, you know, Aoba's kind of talking shit, but she's crashing out here. That's the bottom line. Pretty much Aoba and One Horn escape, and Yuki tries helping out Shushu, his other slave master. But now we're on to chapter 8. We got some latent desires here, boys. One thing I can mention here is that Yuki isn't necessarily deciding in the instant that these latent desires are happening that he wants this exact shit to happen. A subconscious thing. I think that's what latent desires means. But from the last battle, Aoba and One Horn basically escaped. That was pretty much the end of it, right? Because they were just dealing with fodder besides that. I mean, she damn near would have won. One of the reasons why she fled, she noticed that the Shuki was Yuki. Kind of tweaked her out a little bit. We do see that she actually is pretty conscientious of Yuki and his feelings. She didn't want to crash out too hard like Kyoko is crashing out. And we also learned that there was new orders from Anti-Demon Corp HQ. In order to deal with the evolving Shuki, new orders came from the Anti-Demon Corp. Love the aesthetic of the architecture here. We just see some crazy gooner shit here. Yeah, I don't even have too much to say about that. Now we meet some of the goats here. We meet the goat of Part 1, Tenka Izumo, Top 1 Tenka.
I'm Tenka, commander of the 6th Squadron and Yuki's girlfriend. I'm your future sister-in-law. It's a pleasure.
Okay, and the reason I said that is because she's a top tier character, but also she got first place in the popularity poll. Top 1 Tenka. Right away, we see that Tenka is interested in Yuki. Not even sure how she knew about Yuki, about Slave-kun, but she is quite interested for some reason. Yachiho was bullying Himari. Himari's pretty mid. She was just like a mid person, a mid character, so Yachiho was just bullying her. They are the same family, but now we see that Himari is not that mid, obviously. Crazy ass artwork here. The true ability of Himari, noble aspirations, learning. Basically, she can use other people's abilities. That's the gist of it. It's pretty complicated, but I love her ability, learning. Himari is trying to train with Yuki to try and gain an advantage on her sister, Yachiho, but she obviously does not know about this reward system. She wasn't given the TLDR. The form that Yuki takes with Himari, Slave, Whirlwind, they're kind of having a conversation, and Himari just starts lifting her skirt up because she doesn't know. We see the rewards here, pretty top tier rewards, not gonna lie. This Yachiho fit is clean as hell. Chapter 11, the Ozuma's Affairs. So yeah, like I said, she's mid, so her whole family bullies her. It's like, it's not that just she's mid, but her older sisters are all excellent, and she has a lot of expectations put on her. And she says, like, you know, whenever she would study hard, she would get sick the next day and shit like that. Just cap shit. I'm super interested to learn about more of the Ozuma family. Like, we only know about Yachiho, and she is broken as fuck. I can only imagine the rest of them. Yeah, this is kind of crazy, you know, pretty top tier, but Yachiho is posing in the shower here, and Himari is working on a finishing move with Yuki to combat Yachiho's ability. Yachiho can control time, which is busted as fuck, like goddamn it. But they're working on a finishing move, you know, it's pretty cute, pretty good innuendo as well.
Why ain't no way, boy?
Just some gooner shit, some reward shit, some training shit. Pretty perky, goddamn it. Huh? The manga is way more lewd than the anime as well, so that's kind of a reason to read the manga. Tenka and the other girls bust into their hideout using Tenka's ability, which we'll learn about in a second here. Basically, Obito's Kamui. She's a fucking god. I'll just say it now. Probably one of my favorite abilities in this whole show and this whole manga. Ami no Mitari. Godlike. Super godlike.
Ame no Mitori!
I mean, Yachiho is on this girl's squad, and Yachiho can control time. So you just know that Tenka, Top 1 Tenka, is busted as fuck. The Mato exhibition games are about to begin. This was the order from Anti-Demon Corp HQ. So this is the same night, and you know, there's some bath time conversations here. Right now, Himari and Shushu are just kind of talking about their matches around the corner. Sleep girl here, I believe her name is Sahara, and you know, she's pretty unfazed. She's going bathing in enemy territory pretty much. I mean, they're gonna scrap up. They're still not enemies, for real, you know what I mean? We get a nice face-off. Kyoko facing off with Tenka, Himari with Yachiho, and Shushu with Sahara. This is actually where we learn that they have members away. I'm really looking forward to more members being introduced to Squad 7. Unit 7. They are gonna battle one-on-one hands. We get introduced to Gina Bizen from the 10th unit. Her members only arena Gina Club. Her ability basically creates this unbreakable barrier. That shit is capped, but it's basically unbreakable, and any damage you are dealt in this 1v1 when you're inside the barrier gets like healed instantly. Gina's pretty funny. She's a fangirl of Tenka, and she's a fangirl of Kyoka because they're chiefs. She's a fangirl of the Anti-Demon Corps unit, but she eventually becomes a fan of Shuki, which is really cute. She was going crazy at one point. Yeah, see right here, I mean, she's just fangirling out over Tenka and Kyoka, saying even if 1,000 Shuki came, the barrier would hold up. First match is Yachiho versus Himari. We flash back to that spa scene the other day, and the girls are just getting dressed here. Himari actually asks if Yachiho did any training, but I don't think she did any training, and Yachiho is still cooking her. It's actually a pretty good fight in the anime. It's a little bit too complex to go through right here. Like I said, she's manipulating time, and this is the power of a genius. Prime time. Watching all of this in the distance are 3 of the 8 Thunder Gods. One thing I can mention here, Buddy in the middle, he has male attributes. He looks very masculine. He may or may not be the only other male in this series. Like, if you've noticed so far, Yuki is the only male in the series, and this guy in the middle, Rairon, he might be the only other male in the series. Joryu, she's very busty, she's very broken. Rairon, he may or may not be a guy. Then we have Shikoku, who is savage, goddamn savage. On the right, I love the 8 Thunder Gods. Like, we only learn of 3, well, technically 4, but the 4th one hasn't hatched yet, so I'm really excited for them in season 2. And I'm also excited for the other chiefs, obviously. We learn about Tenka, who was such a top tier character, but the other chiefs better be pretty top tier as well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Really just breezing through these fights. I would recommend going and watching these fights because they're actually like not badly animated at all. Yachiho was beating the piss out of Himari, obviously with her broken ass time control ability. Her ability to control time, like, she's broken as hell. Yuki gives her a nice little pep talk though, and they get a well-deserved win. Himari actually like big brain the fuck out of Yachiho because with Kyoko's abilities, when she releases her abilities, there's this like white light kind of transformation. So she actually blinds Yachiho that way, and Himari wins. Pretty simple as that. Pretty high IQ though, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know this reward's about to be stupid as well. Yachiho like got put down badly. Like, goddamn, she was talking mad shit and had mad powerful abilities to, you know, lose some shit like that. And Yachiho basically accepts Himari after she takes that out, but Himari has become attached to Unit 7, that's her home now, so she's not going back to the Azuma family. On to Chapter 16, Fiery Master. This is the battle between Sahara and Shushu. Before we actually get to this battle though, Shushu sees this shit and she realizes that's the reward, like, goddammit. Shushu was a pretty interesting character, I'm not gonna lie. Shushu suggests that they should start this battle without using their powers, and for some reason Sahara agrees. They're basically grappling and boxing, which I would highly recommend watching this fight in the anime. But yeah, very quickly, Sahara's like, fuck it, I'm gonna use my ability, like, this shit's a waste of time for me, like, Sleep Girl. She can power herself up, like, Super Saiyan or some shit, but there's, you know, kind of a quirk to it. She's low-key powerful, fam. Like, Sahara is low-key, in terms of just like strength, she's like kind of busted. But then Shushu is falling on top of her like a giant, and she cooks Shushu. Like, Shushu is not much of a winner. She's not much of a W getter. Sahara Wakasa is the winner. Yeah, GG scrub, I mean, goddamn. Shushu, kind of annoying. Like I said, character minorly interesting, but from a distance, we see goat Shikoku. Shikoku is such a savage. Shikoku is like, her IQ is low-key high as shit. It's in this moment here that Nei actually realizes that somebody is watching them, and Nei's like starting to tweak out. Shikoku also has like a mark on her tongue. Hopping into chapter 18. This is no reward. Shushu is just like, see here that her shirt is, you know, still undone. Pretty top tier gooner shit, but this is no reward. She wants to make out with Yuki, I guess. Rairon breaks the perfect barrier, starts cooking them. Yachiho helps save her little sister, Himari. Now they're best of friends now, even though Yachiho is bullying the shit out of Himari. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure on the right terminology for this, but Kyoka and Himari are becoming Yuki's master at the same time, so it's gonna result in a new form. And this was one of my favorite forms in the anime. Chapter 19, the 7th Chief. Skip through a lot of this chapter, but Yachiho is actually doing pretty well against Rairon. He like blew her arms off or some shit, but she was able to pose with her legs. Pretty sexy, not gonna lie. Yachiho is underrated, fam. Chapter 19 is basically summed up as Kyoka can fight with a sword. We basically seen that before, but Rairon was doing some crazy shit as well. Chapter 20, the 6th Chief. Tenka top 1, obviously. Tenka gets to cooking, and Gina, you know, she's climaxing. We get to see her ability, Amino Mitori. Probably my favorite ability in the show. This shit's clean.
The perfect position. Ame no Mitori.
Defenses are meaningless when I can just tear space itself apart. And I love the glaze that Gina is giving her ability. 10 Sama's abilities to manipulate space is godlike. She was basically using Kakashi's Kamui to defeat Rairon, you know, sucking him up in that dimension here. And we get to double the reward here, Yuki, because remember, he was being enslaved by Kyoka and Himari at the same time. Rairon would have been absolutely cooked, but Shikoku actually saved him in the nick of time, and now Shikoku, Joryu, the Harpy Girl, and then Rairon, Buddy all the way to the right. They're waiting until 8 of them have gathered, the 8 Thunder Gods. They wanted to see what the strength of a chief was like, and they figured out it was on a whole nother level, so they decided to dip out of there. Basically, they just sent Ryren in to kind of cook by himself. Shikoku and Joryu didn't do shit in this battle. But this Ryren's plan, using just our current forces to attack the entire anti-demon corps in a decisive battle, is rejected. Ryren just wanted to box everybody, like, right out the gate, but he actually just got cooked by one chief, pretty much. Kyoka didn't really do shit against him from what I remember. Like, Yachiho was kind of cooking, but Tenka just cooked him, fam. Like, damn. Without Shikoku, would have been GG's probably. But Ryren's like, damn, I'm chopped liver around here or some shit. Like, I'm just getting cooked and now you're rejecting my plans and shit. Yeah, so this is probably one of the scenes that put Tenka as top 1 because, you know, she kind of sneaks in on him, sneaky link type shit. But Tenka top 1 activity here. She is obsessed with Yuki for some reason. I don't think we even know why she's so obsessed with him after watching the first season. Some time later, we visit the 6th unit, and, you know, they basically tell Yuki to start cleaning up and doing shit he would do in the 7th unit. So, goes into Yachiho's room and then sees she has all these pictures of Himari on her wall and shit. In season 1, this isn't expanded upon very much at all. Tenka and Kyoka are having a conversation. Tenka wants Yuki. She says, let me have your slave. In return, Tenka says that she'll back Kyoka as leader. I'll back you up during the next commander election, Kyochin. Yuki's thinking about how he wants to become a hero and not a pet. I'm pretty sure Kyoka, like, tells him that Tenka is interested in him. So he's kind of, like, fantasizing about being a hero, but that shit is cap as soon as Tenka walks in the door. And she obviously doesn't really walk in the door, she just teleports to his bedroom, which is lit as fuck. But yeah, he folds immediately. Yeah, GG's, fam. GG's. We see the bustiness of top 1 Tenka, and she says here, I don't want to skip any steps. Like, damn, son, I'd be folding like shit. She's doing some wild shit to my boy. But Shushu stumbles into this shit, and she's a pretty big crush on him, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even think she realizes that's what it is, because she went to an all-girls school and shit like that, but Shushu, I think, was pretty much just, like, embarrassed. She opens up the door to see Tenka doing some wild shit, man. So their base was being attacked by Shuki, and Kyoka is now flexing in front of Tenka with Yuki. They get to see a named attack out of the 2. Great cross edge. I'm pretty sure in the anime, the chain is actually silver, but right here it's gold. Really nice artwork, though. I love the artwork in the manga, not just because it's Gunner shit. One of the things I'm most interested in is the leader, because we know how busted in multiple ways Tenka is. Her ability was godlike, like Gina said. So that just leads me to believe that the leader is even more godlike than that, which is like, damn, how? Where season 2 is going to begin is the gathering of all the chiefs, which is going to be fire. And apparently, like, the leader knew, like, Kyoka's mindset perfectly. Here we see Yuki's form when Nei is controlling him. Slaves, sparkling stars. I love the names for these. We see basically just like a juggernaut kind of form here. Slave boulder melter. Damn, maybe it actually has some firepower. Literally. That's Yuki's slave form with Shushu. And right here, they're actually building up the 2nd unit a bit. I'm just realizing right now there's 10 units. The 3rd unit was pretty much trash, but the chief wasn't there, so there's that. And the 7th and the 2nd unit are apparently located very close to gates, so due to the frequency of the Shuki appearance, they have specialized scouts. But really building up the 2nd unit here, really excited to see the 2nd unit. We don't get to see them during the first season. We learn a little bit about Nei's backstory here. Her parents disappeared in one of these Mato disasters, and she developed an ability to help find them, I guess. Her clairvoyance, sure to find, promise. She doesn't do like any gooner shit, like, which is a good thing, but she's actually just like adorable, so there's that. And they were like talking in the human world. Yuki like took her on some trip or some shit, like, doesn't matter at all. So we're back at the dorms, and Yuki is telling his backstory about his sister to the other girls. Aoba, his sister, has this quirk where Yuki does well. He, like, gets points. He gets a trillion points here. It's a pretty funny quirk. When he was telling them about that backstory, eventually they get baited, and I'm pretty sure they send out Shushu and Himari first, but they're getting cooked here. And this isn't actually by the 8 Thunder Gods, it's by another set of antagonists. We're gonna find out it's Aoba's girls. They're one of the humanoid Shuki, but there's Shuki who, they're monster-like Shuki, and then they're humanoid Shuki. The 8 Thunder Gods actually might not be Shuki, but they might be humanoid Shuki as well, so keep that in mind. They haven't really been fleshed out that much. Actually, I'm assuming with what we learn at the end about how they have to feed the 2 girls to that one god to make him like hatch out of that egg, that they are actually not Shuki, that they are something, they're gods probably. That also makes me think they're getting their abilities without eating the peaches. It's actually pretty interesting. The gist of it is that Unit 7 got baited into popping out, and they're just getting cooked, you know. I mean, they're getting cooked by this little girl Coco, who was really slippery. We'll come to find out. Also, Yuno is there, I guess, and Shushu and Himari are getting jumped, so there's that. Before, like, Kyoka and Yuki can get to where Shushu and Himari are, Aoba intercepts them. She's able to stop Yuki from moving just by yelling at him. It's an insane panel. Love the manga art. Kyoka isn't crashing out just yet. She's being kind of level-headed. Remember when Yuki went to help out Shushu? Kyoka was like, what the fuck are you doing? But then she calmed down, and she's kind of in that calm state right now. She actually wasn't that mad. She was like trying to find a solution before tweaking out, you know what I mean, before crashing out. But she really could not do shit against Aoba here. Aoba took Yuki and dipped. Some real Gooner shit, fam. This is some peak Gooner shit, so I'm not going to speak too much about that. Koko is licking the wounds off Yuki here. That's one of her abilities, I guess. Chapter 29. We are moving it a little bit along here. I mean, I've already been recording for an hour. This is going to be nuts. Aoba and the other two girls are living in this hidden village under Mato. Koko and Yuno introduce themselves. Baddies, to be honest with you. They look like this because of an accident, but they believe their souls are still human. That's why they haven't fully transformed. That's their hypothesis, right? Some good lore here, some good, you know. Yuki asks, are Shuki former humans? And one of them says, nope, they're monsters from head to toe. We're special. We're more like half human, half monsters. Yuki basically brings up the Anti-Demon Corps, and they're not fucking with that. They are on a mission to destroy the Anti-Demon Corps. Some really good lore here. A female normally gets to eat a peach. They have to submit a form, and then when they actually eat it, they're under supervision. The peach's ability, it's not predetermined. I'm not sure. Like, if you gave the same peach to multiple people, they would all gain unique abilities, I'm pretty sure. The actual mechanics of that are not really that important. I guess if you like split a peach, and you might get the same ability, I'm not quite sure. You have to send a request to the government and go through a strict inspection. Yeah, so this is a pretty lewd scene here. Pretty top tier manga panel. I've had to censor a lot of these, but you guys can still get the gist of this shit. Feed him a magic mushroom. It's not really a big deal. It's like what they normally eat. But yeah, I think Yuki started tweaking out. He started tripping here, started geeking. Yeah, I mean, you can see what's going on here. Remember, Aoba was riding on top of One Horned. We see that all the girls have their own Shuki. They believe that the Shuki are, submitting to them because half of them is no longer human. But the girls also had to alpha these boys. These are all pretty powerful Shuki because, they have names that are not actually fodder. They're good battle power, They're not useless at all. Remember, One Horn murked Kyoko's entire town. We learn here that Aoba is the actual leader of the former human Shuki. I think it's pretty safe to say that the 8 Thunder Gods were not former humans, but they're really honestly kind of different. They are definitely different than the former human Shuki, the half humanoid, half Shuki people, Yuki's sister, and then Koko and Yuna. We're heading into the finale here. We learn that Kyoko's body moves on its own to give Yuki his reward, so it's like a radar that searches for Yuki. And before they head out, Top 1 Tenka uses her ability, Amino Mitori, to pop in. It's not known yet why these girls are turning into Shuki. We obviously learned about the procedure and how rigorous that procedure was, so maybe the reason that these girls are turning into Shuki is because they didn't follow that procedure. Why I say Tenka is top 1, look at this shit. Got first place over Kyoko, which is just crazy to me. Here we are learning about Yuno's Mato disaster, and when she woke up, she was surrounded by these old ass ladies who are experimenting on her. Yeah, so the ability that Yuno has is she has Obito's Kamui. She can phase through people. Aoba's incident, and we don't really learn much, but for years she tried to retain her human mind. Now we get to the final battle. So Aoba was actually guarding Yuki, but Tenka snuck in there and it took him away from her. Yeah, Tenka snatched Yuki. Damn. And then there's this. Rewards from Kyoko, obviously, but Tenka is just getting in there as well, which is pretty funny. So we got Kyoko and Tenka versus Aoba. Yuki is yapping about how the Anti-Demon Corps can help out Aoba, but Aoba is not really listening to that shit. Tenka calls her sister, and obviously pretending to be Yuki's wife. Aoba's like, damn, that's smoke. Like, that's on-site type shit. This panel's kind of crazy on the left, but we see that the former human Shuki, Aoba's gang, that's such a mouthful, who has the ability to temporarily turn them back into humans. Tenka tries to help, but obviously Aoba is tweaking here over being called sister. Tenka has so much horror, fam. Tenka top 1. See some of the other matchups here. So the Anti-Demon Corps is double teaming all these girls. You got Sahara and Shushu versus Koko, aka Slippery Girl. You got Yachio and Himari versus Yuno, and damn, this panel in the middle is kind of hard. Himari going crazy as well, and this is Tenka's going hard against Aoba, fam. This is probably my favorite fight in the anime. This was clean. They do a great job with Ami no Midori. And this was basically a battle of attrition because Tenka could just dodge everything Aoba was doing, but she really breaks her ass down here. Things sister has seem to be her sturdy body. The things sister has, fam, seem to be her sturdy body, the barrages she fires from her mouth, her hair control, and how she powers up from eating peaches. An inhuman body and the peaches ability makes an incredible combo. So yeah, Tenka just glazing Aoba up a little bit. I'm surprised Aoba was not higher on the popularity poll, but it is what it is. Tenka kind of cooking her with Ami no Midori though. Super clean fight, super duper clean fight. This has so much aura, like I'm not gonna lie, especially in the manga. Like the anime was good, but this fight in the manga is actually clean, very clean. Their battle continued on for 30 seconds. Tenka basically, if I remember this correctly, was just trying to create an opening for Kyoko to get in there. And yeah, Tenka just glazing herself up here, but I can use instant movement without stopping 666 times. Tenka was like about to like defeat Aoba, but she actually like has a conscience and shit. I'm not even sure why she likes Yuki so much. Maybe she just has like a slave fetish, but she might be like the only one with an actual slave fetish. Would be fucking crazy. She's thinking about how, you know, Yuki would react if she just murked Aoba right here, and she lets up for a little bit and gives Aoba an opening to attack. This is pretty savage. Aoba just used one of her mouth barrages. Pause. That sounds crazy. Goated moment here. Goated moment. Crazy ass panel. Eviscerated the fuck out of Tenka. She held back though. Top one, Tenka held back. Kyoko on some MC type shit. She's like, now it's my turn to be asking you. Will you surrender? Tenka was doing a lot of the talking. She was really like trying to get in Aoba's head. Like, not even on purpose. Like, Tenka's mad funny. Just calling her sister and shit. She was trying to be honest and shit, but Aoba was tweaking off that shit. Kyoko, will you surrender? They're actually kind of down to like help them out, but yeah, Aoba's not feeling that shit. And one of the like additional like chapters, one of the bonus chapters, we actually get to see, I think this was in the anime too, Shikoku was planning her descent. Like, they have so much aura.
It might be time to start introducing ourselves as gods. Hark, humans, and behold, her holiness has arrived. Well, how did that sound?
So dumb too, like dumb as shit. But Shikoku was, that panel's crazy. All the way to the left. Shikoku was planning their descent, and she has Joryu carrying her, flying down with her. Joryu starts snapping as well. Joryu just snatches up Aoba, starts choking the piss out of her. Joryu puts in work here. Yuno and Koko are trying to hold Joryu down, but Joryu was like unfazed as hell. They're trying to go after Joryu because Joryu's choking the hell out of Aoba. She just eats Aoba out of the way. Yeah, Yuno and Koko trying to do some shit, but like it's not doing shit to Joryu. And then Shikoku, Black Spiral, Dark Snake, Poison. Shikoku is so cracked, yo. I think it's actually her hair that turns into these snakes here, but just incapacitates the shit out of these girls. There's so much detail in the manga, wink wink. They're all trying to jump Joryu, and Joryu just fucks them off. Like, Joryu just, she stomps on the ground, and then from that epicenter, blows everybody the fuck away. It's light work, fam. Light work. 8 Thunder God type shit. Yeah, but blowing everybody the fuck away. Like, Joryu's clean. Because Aoba was in such, you know, rough shape, that actually gave Shikoku the ability to take control of One-Horned. She pretty much just 6 One-Horned on the girls. That was a crazy manga panel of Kyoko. She is going to get the W she needed. She was trying to go for One-Horned like pretty much out the gate anyway. Obviously she is going to take down One-Horned here in a little bit. This named attack out of Kyoko is clean. Chaotic Cherry Blossoms. Kyoko really has a lot of aura, I'm not gonna lie. And this reward is about to be cracked, guys. It's about to be hella cracked. To my hometown. She's hype, yo. She's hype. I just think she's Byakuya. The 8 Thunder Gods, they snatched up Koko and Yuno, Aoba's girls. So they just dipped. They got what they came there for. But Shikoku says that Yuki is kind of interesting. He really didn't do shit, but I mean, I guess he's pretty much the only guy, like, in this world, damn near. So Aoba says that she is going after Koko and Yuno as well. She says she has to save them, but you got worked, Aoba. That was a bad L. That was a bad L to take, I'm not gonna lie. Gave the 8 Thunder Gods hella aura. And what they're gonna do to your girls is not ideal either. Tenka tells Aoba that the commander, she would not have held back. She would have fucked you up. And Tenka really would have fucked Aoba up as well. I think Aoba is still pretty top tier in the story. I think she's still around Tenka level, but I think Tenka would ultimately win that battle. She got in her head, you know, so she couldn't achieve that victory, but I'm assuming before all this Yuki shit, all this slave fetish shit happened for her, she was just clean. 0 mental blockades, you know what I mean? Obviously, after this whole situation, Yuki develops his reason to fight. This is his reason to fight now to cure his sister. He's not just on some gooner shit anymore. This Kyoko reward is probably the best reward from the anime, just because of what she's wearing. Like, what she's wearing is pretty correct. I mean, usually they're just like naked, right? So, I mean, fuck, I gave you guys a little bit of insight to my own personal fetishes here, lingerie fetishes, but this giant egg thing is what made me realize the difference between the Shuki and the 8 Thunder Gods, or just between the girls and the 8 Thunder Gods. This is actually how this guy is getting birthed. It is a unique birth for the 8 Thunder Gods. They say it's like the only one who has this embryonic stage. Yuno and Coco were fed to this guy. They're basically just chilling in there for all of eternity is what they were saying, or some shit like that. But this Kyoko reward was hella top tier. Not gonna say much about that, but this egg god is pretty crazy. And then next time, wow. That was a pretty in-depth fucking recap of season 1. Really enjoyed season 1, really enjoyed rereading it in the manga. I do believe though, for some reason, that season 2 is gonna be clean. Because I think, you know, season 1 they were like, okay, it's a Gooner ass manga, like we're not gonna really, you know, do the most, but I think it's actually a pretty top tier story. It's not just some Gooner shit, so they're like, alright, it qualifies, like it's gonna get the sauce animation. I feel like we're gonna meet the commander in season 2, which is hella hype. Yeah guys, I don't have too much more to say. Let me know what you thought about this video. Really looking forward to season 2. Definitely subscribe if you're interested in live reactions, and let me know if you want me to make more videos on Chain Soldier. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and have a great day. Thanks again.
Why did you bring 2 of them here? Then again, it does need food to grow. The only god that ever has.
That just means it's going to be a powerful one. Our newest friend. And look, she's about to be born.